All right, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for keeping you waiting. Today was another one of the men's breakfasts at my church, and of course, I always attend it with my dad, because that's our personal father-son time, because we both tend to be very busy. So I went to that with him and had to run some other errands as well. So that's the reason why I had to push this back. But thank you all for being so patient with me as we prepare to read today's chapter. I see you, Cohagen. You say 2 more chapters. I still don't know what that means as far as, like, other than what you told me with the season, I guess, ending. Season 1 of Ragnarok ending. And then we'll go to season 2, but I don't know if, everyone, Chugong and everyone in charge is going to take a break for season 2 or not. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, shall we? Let's go ahead and get started today. Yo, peoples! Qushu 92 here. Welcome back to more solo leveling Ragnarok. In the last chapter, we had Jino. Well, no, not Jino. Suho. We had Suho dealing with the fact that he's stuck in this giant dungeon, and we don't know when that will be. Gotcha. But we have Suho, who's stuck inside of this big dungeon, and it also happens to inhabit the different aspects of himself, like the child version, toddler version, and the souped up, superpowered version at the end of him going through that tutorial the first time. Don't know why Nightbot is telling me to hydrate and stretch when it's supposed to be on a 45-minute timer, but I already did that, so I'm good. I had myself a nice shower too, so your boy is not only hydrated and refreshed, and I've loosened up, but I'm also clean. But you guys didn't come here to see that. But he's stuck inside of this giant maze of a dungeon, and the system is malfunctioning right now. He has no way to get out until he defeats the entity that's causing this disruption, and frankly, he's being bodied by the different versions of himself. His superpowered version is basically blowing his body apart, and essentially, Suho has let's just call it an infinite amount of retries to beat these different versions of himself. His toddler self is capable of using ruler's authority and snapping his neck like it's nothing, or twisting his arm and snapping it off. His younger self is capable of, using his toys as projectiles, and he just keeps getting killed over and over and over and over and over and over again. And while this is happening, he resolves himself like, I'm going to beat this, I'm going to figure it out. And so he's been really marking where he's been in this maze by creating a map with his own blood every single time he respawns and comes back. He's been creating a map of the place, and it pretty much ends with him creating this giant map of all these corridors he's been down, and it looks like he's just tired. There's bags under his eyes. There's something on my eye that wants to be there but shouldn't be. I think I got it. And it sounds like someone is actually starting to walk towards him. Meanwhile, the Hunters Association has straight up banned Stardust and is looking into it and investigating it, while Park Doji, aka the apostle sent to take over this planet, has learned who the masked hunter is and learned that it's Sung Suho. But he still doesn't realize that both he and the darkness, that is Jin, are related. So there's still that matter going on. So let's get started with episode 45. And we have Amut.
Hey, fruit fly. Could you stop already? It's not like you're...
I will not mess up Amut's voice.
Could you stop already? It's not like you buzzing around in circles is going to help the young master return any sooner.
Because Beru is just buzzing around in a circle, flying around frantically. You cold-blooded reptile! We have no idea what's happening to the young master! How can you expect me to stay calm at a time like this? Mind you, this is the voice I'm giving Beru while he's in this little itty-bitty state.
We'll go back to the voice he had when he's at full power again.
You cold-blooded reptile! We have no idea what's happening to the young master! How can you expect me to stay calm at a time like this? Young master! I, Beru, have been about you day and night.
And he's just sobbing his eyes out. And then we have Essel, who's standing there with Amut. Mind you, Amut is a big dude. He's just standing there next to Essel, who goes,
I can understand how Beru feels. It's already been 2 weeks since the young master entered that gate, after all.
2 weeks? 2 weeks? He's been in there that long?
So, you're worried about him too?
Shouldn't you be worried as well? You're his companion too, just like the rest of us here.
Do none of you see the young master for who he truly is? You're always comparing him to the great Shadow Monarch and treating him like he's a child. But unlike you, I've never met this Shadow Monarch. I formed my own opinion of the young master while watching him train. To me, the young master is someone who never gives up, not even when his body breaks or his mind is pushed to the brink of insanity. And that's why I'm certain that he'll be able to overcome anything.
And then Beru, antenna drooping and still sobbing his eyes out, just reluctantly goes, Lizzie. And then Essel, who was kind of sweating, just still smiles and goes,
I guess you're right. We just need to have faith in him.
And it cuts back to Suho. As he goes up for a punch, and he goes, did you really think I wouldn't try to fight back? And when he tries to punch overpowered Suho just nonchalantly backhands him and obliterates his entire torso. This is the power that Suho can reach, where he's capable of just going like, and just blowing people's bodies apart. Because OP Suho just does that, just goes, like, this is the back of your fist. This isn't the full driving extension of a momentum-driven arm that carries extra weight. You're like twisting your body forward, twisting your hips and everything to give it more power, more speed, more momentum. He just, the same thing you do when you're trying to knock on someone's door. Something casual, just casually, hits him with the back of his hand and blows apart Suho's upper torso. Then we cut back to Suho, who immediately, after respawning, dashes and makes his way to his child self and goes in for an axe kick. This dude has already... Okay, so we can clearly see here that he needs to beat these people in these versions of himself in order for him to get out. He does not waste any time going for an axe kick on a child version of himself. And Suho, with a sort of crazed look in his eye, goes in for the kick, but child Suho just points a finger and just straight up mangles Suho's body. I wonder, are they blocking it? Is that censored? Did they literally just censor Suho's body being completely obliterated? He just points a finger, and I guess he makes Suho's body fold in on itself, because we get a loud crack sound. So, assuming this kid version of Suho is using ruler's authority, simply points, and then just compresses Suho's body in on itself. Then we get narration from Suho. I could have died 100 times by now. I gave up trying to keep count. It took a lot of deaths, but I came to realize that I was able to view the status windows of both of my enemies. My toddler self, baby Sung Suho, doesn't seem to be a player yet, even though he's capable of crushing people with telekinesis. Skill: the commander's authority level max. The user can physically manipulate objects without touching them. This is the power of baby Sung... Baby Suho has a maxed out commander's authority, ruler's authority from the previous story, maxed out commander's authority skill, And he's just been using that against Suho, just crushing him effortlessly. Although his stats didn't show his level, I did see that his commander's authority skill was maxed out. Just coming into contact with the me from my tutorial days is enough to make me explode. Tutorial Sung Suho's job is Soul Striker. Name, Sung Suho. Level 99. Job, Soul Striker. He's a level 99 beast. And then it cuts to Suho, who's back at the starting point. And then he just flips back to his feet again after laying there for a while. Dang, that's another life I blew before I got far enough to add to my map. And he just takes off. As I keep dying over and over again, I find myself becoming accustomed to fear. And instead of Suho looking bewildered whenever he gets killed, for instance, he gets part of his torso completely just blown off, and he just goes, well, dang, better luck next time, I guess. And then it cuts to Suho getting very, very close to baby Suho, and he's just kind of smiling despite the fact that baby Suho is crushing his body as he goes, whoa, I got pretty close to him this time. And then it just shows Suho just covered in blood over and over again as he continues to go up against, tutorial Suho and baby Suho over and over. And we just see a floor just completely caked and splattered in blood. But I know this is something I can only experience while I'm stuck in this place. I'm fully aware that death is nothing to be taken so lightly. And that's why I'm always fighting tooth and nail to survive. The number of times I died equals the number of times I tried. And I can tell that I am becoming stronger with each new attempt. And then Suho is steadily marking more spots with blood for him to map out more and more of the map. And it looks like he's managed to create a almost complete circle filled with every corridor he's been down. There's just one spot left on the map. If I can't find another door here, it must mean that the only way to clear this job change quest is to take down those two versions of my former self. Wait, now that I think about it, it kind of feels like I'm running into those two sooner and sooner with every death. And then he pauses and smiles and goes, see? They're here already. As it shows, baby Suho is already there in front of basically, baby Suho just spawn killing. He already made his way to where Suho was. He already made his way to where Suho was and is already, flying towards him. It's almost as if they're trying to stop me from heading in that direction. And so Suho immediately starts dashing towards baby Suho. The commander's authority is a skill that allows the user to control an invisible hand. And so, if I surround myself with my own commander's authority... And there's like a pow sound, because we see these invisible hands of ruler's authority surrounding him. He's literally, for lack of a better term, let's say it like this as if you're reading Marvel Comics. He's essentially covering himself in a telekinetic shield of sorts, with the ability of commander's authority. Because something hits it. No, there's a pow sound in front of him, and then like this expansion, like this expansion immediately starts to appear directly next to Suho. Is this the same ability that we saw from, like Thomas Andre back then when he was fighting Jin? It starts to expand right next to Suho. And Suho, seeing this, kind of flies over the air above baby Suho, who then quickly turns his little head around and tries to aim for Suho, our Suho, but then our Suho throws a jacket in front of the face of baby Suho to blind him. And then Suho looks like he's about to use ruler's authority, but then he starts sweating, thinking, as he's looking forward, because he sees something and that's it. It's that left corridor. The only area I haven't been to yet. Please. And then he goes to the door, and there's another boss door at the end of this place. And it's a relatively long hallway, but the boss chamber is at the end. And Suho's looking, going, it's a door. I knew it. I knew there had to be another entity here aside from those two. And he immediately starts running towards it, but then there's a boom sound. There's a boom sound that starts to loudly echo throughout this entire area. And it starts getting louder and louder and louder. Dang it. He's coming. And this boom sound is something moving at such high speed that you only see the impact from this thing landing and shooting off into the direction with blinding high speed towards Suho. I have to get inside that door. This has to be tutorial Suho, who is just basically rebounding off the walls like a pinball, getting faster and faster as he's making his way towards our Suho. I have to get inside that door. If those two are serious about stopping me from reaching this room, I've got no chance of surviving once the Soul Striker reaches me. And just when it looks like Suho is trying to open the doors, Soul Striker Suho just immediately slides into frame. Crap. And it shows Soul Striker Suho just standing there with his eyes just focused on Suho like this. Just like super serious. And he's just got that black and red lightning crackling off of him. And then he just starts walking down the hallway. No, my bad. Sorry, I didn't even scroll down soon enough. He starts to look like he's walking down the hallway, and all you see is just the dash dust of where he was as he's speeding straight towards Suho. This dude is moving so fast. You just see a beam of light and red and black lightning around it. He's not even moving at a speed where you can see his actual body. He's just turned. He just went, Yata no Kagami. He literally just pulled a Kizaru. Acceleration is power. And just starts speeding towards Suho. Breaking the ground as he goes. And it looks like, and the thing about this panel that I like is that it narrows it, so it's like big black bars on the side as you see the hand of Soul Striker Suho about to touch our Suho. And then Suho immediately closes the door behind him. Because Suho is panting hard. This dude is sweating bullets that he just narrowly avoided getting obliterated. And Suho just goes, he can't get past those doors, right? At last, I finally got away from those two. And then we just get like this panel that's black and white with black shadowy splotches as he thinks to himself, but this isn't over yet. Now it all depends on who I find in this chamber. Based on the other rooms, there's a huge chance that whatever's in this room is also some version of myself. It could be the me from when I started the tutorial, or maybe this version of me. And he's referring to when he first started using gauntlets while he was still in his school gear, and also the version of himself that started using tons and tons of weapons before he started to use gauntlets more. Or maybe, which one will I get this time? And someone starts to walk out of the darkness behind Suho with two swords, one red with black accents, and one basically silver and shiny with gold and blue accents. And this person starts walking closer and closer to Suho, and he just turns his eye in that direction. And this person steps into frame, and it's him. But this is a Suho that uses dual swords. This is a Suho that uses dual swords. Is this the sword from, wait a minute, hold on. Is this the same sword that took over that one hunter and Suho literally had to beat it into submission? Because that looks like the same red sword from that one dungeon that we were just in. Not just in, but it was a dungeon we were in a while back, and the dude took the sword from this dungeon, and then he got possessed by the spirit inside of the sword. If I remember correctly, this is supposed to be the sword of Antares, isn't it? This is supposed to be the sword of Antares. But we get this version of Suho wielding two swords, walking towards him, and then it says to be continued. Wow. Okay. It's from the fight against the hyena monster. Ramil, Julian, Dawn, Donkers! Everybody, hi! Hello! It's good to see all of you. Hi, hello! And level 99 is treating present Suho like he's level 1. It's like the most recent patch of Lies of P that just dropped yesterday. Where they introduced, difficulty settings for Lies of P. So for instance, you have, like the standard difficulty, which is pretty much the more difficult one, which is the standard. And then you have the normal difficulty, and then you have the easy one. So it's kind of like that. Imagine being a maxed out Lies of P player, and then you switch the difficulty all the way down to, Butterfly's Guidance, which is the easy difficulty. I'm messing with that now just to see how it is, and I'm also working on getting the final trophies of Lies of P, and then I platinum the game, finally. But it's kind of like that. Level 99 treating Suho like he's level 1. Hello, and D-Train as well, good to see you. Hello, Captain and Nakama! How are you all doing today? I don't want to do that too similar to Roger, because Roger does that way better than me. They're gonna jump him, yep. They were literally waiting for him outside of his respawn point. What makes it even more horrifying is the fact that it did not take... it's the sword of the servant of the Fang Monarch, Raken or Laken. Yeah. It's not Antares. I think it was the Fang Monarch, that red sword that took over that hunter and turned him into a berserker. That's the one. I didn't remember which monarch that sword served. So please forgive me if I incorrectly said that it was a sword that belonged to Antares, because that was not the case. But it was the Fang. I think it was a sword that belonged to the Fang Monarch. Yeah, Dawn, you are definitely right. It's the sword that belonged to the Fang Monarch. I think his name was Raken or Laken. Either one of those two. So here we see that Suho is still steadily trying to fight his former selves, though he's not getting as bewildered every single time he gets obliterated by them. He's all like, huh, okay. Well, I was getting kind of close. It's like him taking on these boss versions of himself is akin to an Elden Ring player. You can only die so many times to a boss before you start to get used to it, and then that's when you start to get better at contending with him. Like Suho was contending with Baby Suho, and he got this close to Baby Suho, and he's all like, wow, I got really close to him that time. That can be said of any Elden Ring player who has had a hard time with either Melania or Margit the very first time, or even Radon. A lot of us felt that way about some of these bosses in Elden Ring, where we just went like, oh, I got really close, and you stop being angry, you stop being shocked, and you're just all like, well, I didn't get him that time to try again. That's that point where Suho's got to, where he's actually he's gotten used to being killed by these individuals, and he's only figuring out how to get stronger and stronger to face them, to the point where he's all like, nah, I'm fighting back now, and he tries, and he fails. Multiple times, getting his whole body just literally compressed in place, seeing his whole body just completely obliterated. Level 99 Soul Striker Suho is broken. Completely broken. What you mean you just hit someone with the back of your fist and their whole body and torso just explodes? Nah! It's like, who said that? It's like Ramil said, level 99 treating Suho like he's level 1. It's like playing I'm going to make a whole bunch of game comparisons here. You need to understand that there's so many ways you can do that. But it's like playing Borderlands after getting a max character and then switching to like normal Vault Hunter mode and then going back to the first area and then you shoot a psycho or an enemy and their body, it doesn't just take damage. Their whole body just explodes in chunks because of the overkill that you done to them. It's essentially like that. That's Soul Striker Suho. But at least he's marked enough of it for him to figure out like, okay, so there's only one more place. If this is the place that I need to bring down, then hopefully this will bring this all to an end. Like, because if these two are trying to keep me from getting to that spot, then that must mean I'm going in the right direction. And what's in this chamber is literally another version of Suho, but he's using dual swords, including one of the swords that belong to one of the monarchs. So now he has not one, not two, but three different versions of himself to contend with. Because who's to say him beating this version of himself is not the key to opening this place? Because he still has Soul Striker Suho and Baby Suho to contend with if beating this fight does not free him. So there's still an issue there. Let me see what all you guys have said. Fight back. Imagine if Ventades is the one behind that door. He would never have made it out. He would have not even level 99 Suho is on a level to bring down Antades. Antades required beyond max level power. That's like prestiging a character in Warriors Orochi multiple times in order to give them maxed out stats in attack, defense, Muso, and speed, and health. It's like that. You need Jin levels of power to beat someone like Antades. Monarch for a reason. Captain, have you seen the trailer for One Piece live action season 2 Chopper has appeared? I have. I unfortunately watched the trailer because it basically showed an image of it on my screen, and I figured, well, if I'm looking at it right now, I might as well just watch it. So apologies for not reacting to it. Chopper looks amazing in live action. Many of us, and I was kind of concerned and wondering how are they going to do Chopper in live action, but Chopper looks amazing. Chopper looks amazing. Chopper looks absolutely amazing. Wow. The playback didn't even catch up to me. Jabu Jabu is behind that door. Imagine getting your behind handed to you so bad you start wishing that a weaker version of you would appear. Let's see. Let's see. I understood that reference. Suho isn't a dungeon main. That's why he sucks at fighting multiple strong enemies. See, a lot of you dungeon players from Wuwa, you understand that seems like a bit of a skill issue. Oh, your health is low? You mean you can't get stronger the more you lose health? Sucks to be you! But dungeon mains look at it as like, oh, you're gonna drive me to the brink of death? Good. I was waiting for someone to do that, because as soon as I hit you, it's going to hurt. People just complain, Chopper looks phenomenal. Yes, Chopper looks good. Chopper does look good. But going back to this story, let me focus here. Let me focus up. Going back to the story, Suho has become, like you said, he's become less and less impacted from the fact that he's died so many times. Hundreds of times. Can you imagine dying hundreds of times to Melania? I know I didn't die as many times to Melania in Elden Ring. It was quite a few. It was well over 50. On my first playthrough, it was well over 50. Subsequent playthroughs were significantly easier due to me just cheesing the heck out of the Mimic tier and also putting overpowered gear on my Mimic as well. But just imagine dying to Melania hundreds upon hundreds of times. You get close, but then you keep falling short. That second phase just hitting you with that scarlet rot, and then you die after she stabs you, and you're still rotting at the same time. Suho is out here just fighting these doppelgangers of himself, both supremely powerful. Mind you, baby Suho has maxed out Ruler's authority. And apparently he almost hit Suho with a singularity that almost looked like it propelled him through the air. I couldn't really tell. Didn't find nothing on a Season 2 release. Kohagen, don't even worry about it. We'll just cross that bridge when we get to it. Chugong and company will let us know if we go on break or not. He's become numb to death, which I don't know if it's good or bad for his character. I wouldn't say that he's become numb to death. He's starting to fear failure from fighting these versions of himself less and less. I wouldn't call that a complete nullification of the fear of death, but he's starting to become less and less bothered by it. So there's a little bit of a difference. There's a little bit of a difference. Because if he was numb to death, he wouldn't have frantically tried to open up that door so he wouldn't get obliterated from Soul Striker Suho. If he was numb to death, he would have just been all like, he wouldn't be panting and breathing hard to open and slam that door behind him if he still didn't have a fear. Because if that was the case, he wouldn't have been panting as hard as he was after those doors was closed. And he wouldn't have asked himself, he can't get through that door, can he? If you weren't fearful, you wouldn't be trying to double check and make sure that an individual that could easily kill you wouldn't be able to get through that door. So he's become less and less bothered by it, but there's still that sense of self-preservation. That primordial fear of self-preservation is still there. Because he's not at a level where he's looking at someone as powerful as Soul Striker Suho and going, you know what? If you kill me, it's whatever. He hasn't gotten there because Soul Striker Suho is still that strong, which is why he was hoping for a weaker version of him to appear so he can have a breather. Exactly. He wanted a breather. If you didn't fear, you would not care what level or how powerful the next person you were going to face was. If he had become numb to death, he wouldn't have been hoping that he would get someone weaker. That's just how I feel about it. Hey, it sounds like family just got back home. Awesome. So now we have another version of Suho that's using dual swords. So now the question is this version of Suho stronger or weaker than our Suho? Who do we call this Suho? Dual wield Suho? We might as well just call him that for right now. So the question is this a version of Suho that our Suho can take down? And how much stronger is Suho going to be after all is said and done? Kirito Suho. Yeah, you know what? That's actually Kirito Suho, Baby Suho, and Soul Striker Suho. Soul Striker is too many syllables, so I just say OP, Baby, Kirito, Soul Striker, Kirito, Baby. Never mind, it's not as many syllables. Sword Suho. We got Baby Suho, OP Suho, and now we got Sword Suho. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with Sword Suho, because that just resonates. Donjin Main Suho. It's crazy to think that Donjin mains are closer to Super Saiyans than any other character within Wuwa, simply because Saiyans get stronger the closer they are to death. But nah, that is not Donjin main Suho. Ain't got no red hair, and the health isn't low. So definitely not a Donjin main. But overall, interesting chapter. I really look forward to the next one, the next Saturday that we have. And don't worry, that one will be on time, to see how strong this version of Suho actually is. Should be interesting, and I wonder, with this version of Suho using that sword, the more his HP gets lower, the more his HP gets lower, the stronger he gets? Something like that. But it remains to be seen what capabilities this version of Suho actually has, because our Suho has progressed to the point where he can see the skills of his versions, but he can't see their stats, like what their stats are at. He knows their levels, but not their stats. So at least it seems that progressively he's getting stronger, even if it's not in the traditional sense. Because beforehand, he could only see these people. He could only see these versions of himself. But he could not see their name, and he could not see their job class. He could not see their skills. He's slowly starting to see what they all can do. So it hasn't progressed to the point where he can actually see their stats yet. So he's still progressing. Even though we're not seeing a level up screen, he's still somehow getting better. couldn't be the author of this story because you would have killed Suho at this very moment. End of story. We got to subvert expectations. Ramil, if the story would have ended with the main character dying right then and there, and then it said the end, it would have ticked off so many people. So I'm glad we're not going in that direction. But like I said before, this was an interesting chapter, and we'll have to see what capabilities this version of Suho has before Suho can get out. And apparently, he's been in there for 2 weeks? Let's not overshadow what Amut and Essel and everyone else have said. One, Beru is frantic that he's been gone that long. Essel is getting concerned. Amut is all like, I don't know the Shadow Monarch y'all keep bringing up, but I do know the young master, and he's an individual who will not give up, not even if his body breaks or if he's on the brink of insanity. He'll be fine. Amut's the only one who's just up against the wall, arms crossed like the bad dude that he is, and he's all like, he'll be fine. Everyone else is all worried, and he's all like, nah, he'll be alright. I trained him enough. He'll be fine. Not realizing that he's died over 100 times already. But that's where we're at. He's been in there for 2 weeks. He gone. He been gone for 2 weeks. So, with him being gone for 2 weeks, if time still moves the same way inside of the Shadow Dungeon and in the real world, what has been happening in the 2 weeks that he's been gone? Imagine people expecting a long-running series only for it to end right here. Wouldn't that be the biggest kick in the pants if Suho just straight up died, he didn't come back, and that was the end of the story? You don't understand. I'm invested in this story. That would have been the biggest gut punch to me if this story weirdly ended right here and now. I already have to deal with the fact that Kaiju number 8 is ending in literally 2 chapters after I just caught up to it earlier this week. It's only got 2 chapters left and then the series is over. I just did my read-through series on this thing, thinking, okay, I'm gonna catch up and then I'm gonna tune into the rest of the series. Sorry, only 2 chapters left and the series is done. Huh? So it's kind of like that. I'm glad the story isn't going in that direction, but I'm starting to drone off, so please forgive me. I got some other things that I want to do for you guys today, because apparently the Neo 3 demo is out, and I want to play that for all of you. But interesting chapter. We'll have to see how Suho manages to get through the situation. I almost bit my tongue there, but I'm fine. We'll have to see how Suho gets through this whole situation. Look forward to more stuff I'm going to be doing in June. I still got to give you guys an update video of what we're all going to be doing in June and July going forward, because there's still plenty of things for me to do for all of you, including members as well. I got to do some videos and some stuff for you guys as well. Yeah, I mean, even in the solo leveling series, it doesn't matter if it's a dungeon made by the system or regular dungeon. There's no time lag. See you tomorrow at One Piece or time difference. Exactly. So yeah, it's been a hot minute since Suho has been in this place. But yeah, I'll go ahead and set up some things for One Piece tomorrow, because I can't believe with the last chapter, I can't believe we're not going on break. But yeah, that's all I got. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been a wonderful audience. Yeah, what's up with that? A lot of series are ending so quickly. I don't know what to tell you. It just feels like yesterday that I ended My Hero Academia. And then after that, I ended Jujutsu Kaisen. And now, it looks like, and now Kaiju number 8 is about to end as well. So many series I've covered that have ended now. So much time. But it happens eventually. It happens eventually. But yeah, I will see the rest of you in my next session. I might do a live stream. Will you do a Wuthering Waves 2.4 on June 12th? More than likely, because I tend to play the new story content that comes out for WUWA when it comes out. So more than likely, I will play the next WUWA thing next week. Just because what's the 12th? Thursday? Yeah, it's a Thursday. So it'll be after, the beginning after the end, and I believe we're supposed to be getting I think Kaiju number 8 is on break. I think it's on break. So the beginning after the end, and then we'll cover WUWA at 4. I mean, we'll cover WUWA once I get done with the beginning after the end. Sorry, I was thinking of another time. But yeah, we'll tune in. We'll definitely cover it. But ladies and gentlemen, you've been a wonderful audience. Thank you for stopping by today. You didn't have to. You could have been anywhere else on YouTube or even doing anything else with your life, but you decided to spend a couple of good minutes with me. Thank you for that. All I can tell you, my wonderful, wonderful peoples, is hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!